How can I mount an iPhone as a drive on OS X? When I plug my iPhone in on Windows, it automatically detects it as a USB mass storage device and mounts as a disk. How can I set this up in Finder under OS X?
They're the handy plug-and-play tool iExplorer that SLHCK mentioned. But I am not a fan of paying $35-50 plus for a one-time use just to mount a file system, especially when I already paid a ton of money to buy my Mac. Thanks iExplorer for all your work. But there's a much better solution here. The free answer, because God bless the open source, which Apple has made billions on top of already. Install Homebrew and open a terminal on your Mac to do the rest. After some quick research, iExplorer is built on top of OSFuse and uses common protocols to exchange file information from the device. If you want to see your device, I'd recommend installing iSUSB to discover the 40-digit UUID, aka serial. To get iSUSB working on OS X. After you type iSUSB, you will see your device listed as steps to mount the file system without jailbreaking. Brew tap OSFuse. Brew install OSFuse. Brew tap Homebrew Fuse. Brew install iFuse. Now that iFuse is installed, you can mount the device like this. This will mount the viewable Apple file system. But it probably won't give you everything you see in iExplorer, like all the apps and their app data. Well, no fear, iFuse can do that too. You need one more application to get all the app bundle names. That would be iDevice Installer. The output will be Now, if you already mounted the device, I should mention that you first run sudo umount tilde of iPhone or click the eject link in Finder next to tilde of OSFuse to unmount that before continuing. To mount a particular app container, run. You can then either navigate to the folder in Finder or use that good old BSD tool CP while you're still in your terminal.
You can't by default, since iOS in combination with OS X won't allow you to. iOS will only present the iPhone as a camera, so image capture can pull the pictures stored under. Using the PTP, Picture Transfer Protocol. 2 options. You can jailbreak your iPhone and use the USB drive app from Cydia to turn the device into an actual USB drive. The drive-only mode would allow you to do what you want, if I read your question correctly. You could install PhoneDisk for OS X, which will monitor any plugged-in devices and mount them as drives. Note though that PhoneDisk has been discontinued as of July 2012 and its features have been merged into Explorer.
Windows does not mount an iPhone as a USB mass storage device. Just because a device shows up under My Computer doesn't mean it's a mass storage device. What Windows is doing is detecting the iPhone as a PTP device and presenting it there to the user. The equivalent in Mac OS X is to open a program that imports photos, such as Photos or Preview, and you will see the iPhone listed there. Mac OS X does not mount PTP devices on the desktop, like it does with USB mass storage. So all the replies on here were how get into the root files of the iPhone, which is not really the equivalent of what the user is seeing on Windows.
This URL. As Empowered noted in the comments, this will work with the last command edited, since that will generate the following error column, no such keg column.
PhoneDisk was quite cool, but since Sierra, the /volume folder is no longer writable for every on. What makes PhoneDisk fail mount failed unable to create directory for mount point. The easiest way to solve this is to go for it as root in the terminal. Sudo is foolproof. Some errors appear, a pop-up system extension blocked will come up, you press the Open Security Preferences button, and allow Benjamin Fleischer's software. Close all and run again sudo. Beauty about PhoneDisk is that it mounts parts of the iPhone's/iPad's file system on the Mac. And Balad sim, digital images, folder, you find all the photos and films with their time-created info. The copied with CPP, this info will not be lost.
video, please consider subscribing.